Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations. So here we are in that exported map that we made. Now we're going to go a little more in depth on the stamps themselves. We only briefly went over it so that I could show that you could make different shaped so that everything doesn't have to be perfectly squared. So let's go ahead and take a look at that stuff. So obviously it's in Wonderscape Creations, height map generation, stamps, and in blueprints. So you'll see that structurally it's the same as the height maps, 2K, 4K, 8K. We're going to hang out in the 4K stuff here, and I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to use some dunes here, because why not? So obviously you may hit a time in which you want to add some hand-placed stamps, and you can. Obviously you could also do it in your generator so that it's permanent. But again, it is up to you, the designer. So let's go ahead and pull one in. Remember, if it's your first time pulling one in, it's going to tell you it needs to create that layer. You're going to hit accept. Now I'm going to click on G. Oh, right, because it's not actually there. So it's saying that it's there. You can see the data is being done, but it isn't actually there. So I'm going to pull one out right here. There we go. Now if I hit G, there. Now it's showing. Perfect. So here's our dunes. Sandy, sandy dunes. Obviously, it's a little on the extreme side. So if we come here to the default height, we have here it shows max height and min height. So I did this so that when everything's procedurally generated, everything isn't the exact same height no matter what. It helps create more randomness, helps make things look more natural. Because there's no such thing as repeating in nature when it comes to the landscape. So let's go ahead and reduce this to 1500. Makes things a little less extreme. And then we'll make the max height 500. There we go. Looks beautiful. So then when we come here to the fallout, it's exactly the same here. Obviously, if we go to 0, and then make this 0, and this 0, we're not going to see much of a difference because it's dunes. It's how I have it set up. If we did something else, we would see a straight line. So if I come here to, let's do base, noise, then I'll choose number 2 here, just like this. Now, if I change the fall off to 0, 0, and 0, as you can see here, no fall off, straight line. So that's why the fall off is there. That's the importance of it. And changing the min and max fall off helps to create more randomness, because then instead of it falling off, all of the stamps falling off to say this point, they'll fall off between this point and this point. That's the purpose of that one right there. Now then, if we come back to this, all of these stamps are set to additive, and you will see here that there's location is set to 0. No matter what, you can try to change it, you can't. Because if it's additive and it's touching the ground, then it's going to push the whole landscape completely down. So it has to stay at 0, so that's where I'm making sure that it's kept. So obviously, if you change it to alpha blend, things may change, because look at that. Now it's popping up right here. So we may need to, in the future, change that up. The reason why you have it to additive is it just looks better than alpha. I always have the main stamp be alpha, and everything else is additive. Then you have min and max, and that means it's either going to only add stuff and not lower stuff. So that's what that's for. Manual use, which is what we're doing. We need to have this checked, and that is so that we can manually change the size in that section. Obviously, we could uncheck this and change it ourselves this way, but if we want to stay within the Wonderscape variables we have, we just need to check mark that it's in manual use, and then we change it, it'll work. So here, another thing that we'll go over is here in inverted. If I check mark that, now the stamp looks different. Now we have rolling hills instead of dunes. So that's important for you to know and understand. And the last things that we have here is the LOD bias. If I change this to 5, then go ahead and move things. Something like this, we're not going to see much of a difference. But you can see that there's some straight lines here. It's reducing the resolution of the texture. I generally keep it at 0, but I wanted you guys to have that control if you want it. The last thing these stamps have are these little sprites, and that is so that no matter what, you don't have to go and scroll through your outliner once you have a massive amount of stuff. You can just come over here and select it. Now, obviously, once you're done with it and you never want to use it again, you never want to see it again, you can come up here to View Helpers, check that off, and now you don't see it anymore. However, I tend to keep it on and just press down G when I don't want to see that kind of stuff so that I can view the world and see it. Again, I just wanted to make sure you guys had that option. So you are able to adjust the color and the Z location if you wish. It's just something that I choose to have to help people visually see how many of what type of stamps they have. That way, if they see something strange that they don't like in the formation, they're like, okay, well, what stamps are here? And they can more easily discover where the issue lies. So that is everything that comes with the stamps. That is everything that the PCG graph utilizes to make our landscapes.